Hello everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing a Shadowhunters unboxing. So I have not had videos up for this week pretty much. I did post a little thing in the community tab, but I know not a lot of people see that. But basically we just had an eventful week. Obviously Sunday was Mother's Day. I didn't film this weekend because of that, and I was gonna film on Monday, and then Presley fell at the playground at school and hit his nose and mouth. He did have like a bruise sort of thing on his nose, although he said he was fine. He went back to class, you know, everything was all good. I did want to check him out, but Tuesday was his first field trip ever, and I did get to chaperone that with him. So he was in my little group with some other little boys in his class, and we went to like a zoo area thing, which was very, very fun and adorable. So then on Wednesday, he went to the dentist. He has 2 loose teeth on top. He already had those because he's already lost the bottom 2 and grown in his adult teeth almost all the way already. And I basically just wanted to double check that those top teeth were still just like normal, because when he fell on Monday and hit his mouth, they shifted. Like one of them shifted out a little bit, and they slowly went back to sort of like the normal positions, but like I did just want to like double check. The dentist said that if he sneezes right, they'll just come out. Like they look perfectly normal loose baby teeth. We got to see the x-ray with his adult teeth coming in, which is great. He will have to go back to the dentist and do like normal dentist stuff. This was his first time at the dentist. Yes, we did wait way too long to do this, and so he needs a little bit of extra help with stuff, but he was very anxious about the dentist, and he has a really bad gag reflex as well, so like they had a hard time getting x-rays. So it was just like lots of like little things. We're gonna take him in and do it like slowly, get him used to going there. He knew why he had to go. He knew that a dentist is like a doctor for his teeth. Elliot's gonna have her first appointment next week. She's actually very excited because they got toothbrushes when we went. So it's just like he's more nervous in like different situations, things like that. But I'm glad we went. I'm glad all that stuff is normal. So he's perfectly fine. The bump and stuff that he had on his nose pretty much isn't even there anymore. I think it was just more like he didn't want ice at school because it was too cold and, you know, all that good stuff. But all of that is to say that I didn't film over the weekend for Tuesday, and then because of all that kind of stuff, I didn't get anything filmed on Monday for Tuesday. I didn't get anything filmed for Thursday, just because we had lots of other stuff going on. So this is Saturday's video, obviously. We're getting back on schedule now. We're starting off a little bit slow with just like an unboxing, but this is the 3rd book that I have received from the Seasons of Shadowhunters Kickstarter that I did beginning of last year or the end of 2023, something like that. You fund your Kickstarter stuff early. They get the funds for it and they use those funds for the books, or I do sometimes video games or board games that way as well. And I'm very, very excited for this. These are Kickstarter exclusive books. We don't know if the majority of these are ever actually going to come out as normal books. However, we have, since the last time I did this, had an update. And basically that update is saying that the last book we're gonna get, so not the book that we have here today, but the last book that we're gonna get, called Better in Black, which is going to be a collection of short stories or novellas from just the Shadowhunters world, will actually be getting published through Random House. So Random House is going to be publishing The Wicked Powers as well as the Foretold duology. I think that's something else that she is working on. I'm not entirely too sure about that. This is just from the announcement. They are going to be publishing a paperback edition of Better in Black along with an ebook. They're not sure about an audio edition yet. They don't know exactly when. It says it looks like the paperback is tentatively scheduled for Christmas of 2025, so later this year, because they're trying to give at least, I think, 6 months of exclusive access to us, people that have backed the Kickstarter. But, so out of the 4 books, one of them, which is, like I said, exclusively Shadowhunter stuff, will be coming out in a normal edition, so you didn't have to miss out on everything. Like I said though, this one is not that one, so that will be coming later, but I'm very excited about that because that means that potentially some of these other things could be picked up as well in case you were not able to get in on the Kickstarter. So, without further ado, we're gonna get into this. I absolutely love that they did this with the packaging. They're just having all the runes on there. So yeah, let's get into this. I'm very excited for this one. It's in plastic wrap, we'll have to take it off, but this one is Careful of Books. This is a novella collection. I do want to say, I think at least some of the stories in here are related to Shadowhunters, but in general, it's not all. Okay, I absolutely love these covers. They're just so cool, and I like the fact that even though these are all completely different types of books and stuff, they all match. So here is the spine, and then moving on to the back. It does say, when you see him, you are seeing a memory, and memories are a gift. I don't know exactly what that's supposed to be for, but let's take a look here. On the inside of the dust jacket, we have like the little flaps. They do say some stuff as well, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. And then 7 crowns for 7 kings forged in the palace deep in the greenwood. I'm assuming those are parts of maybe stories in this collection. Here is our naked hardcover, which is gorgeous. I love that it has like the gold foiling on it. It is the same on both the front and the back. And again, the spine here just has like the same sort of stuff that was on the spine here, but just in the gold. Ooh, we do have end papers. So here is the front and the back, something different. Love that. Okay, so this has 4 different novellas inside. We have A Sea Change, which I want to say, is this one with Matthew from Shadowhunters? Yes. So Matthew is going to be in that one. We also have A Scandal at Undershaw, Wendy Darling, and In Fire Foretold. Like I said before, I don't believe these are all going to be related to Shadowhunters stuff. There's one story, I think it's the second one, A Scandal at Undershaw. I'm seeing the name Sherlock in here, so I do believe that this is supposed to be more related to that. So yeah, A Scandal at Undershaw. I like that we have like this like pinkish text for our titles. And it does talk about, I think it's like author's notes about like why she wrote what she wrote. And it like starts off with, I've always loved the Sherlock Holmes stories. And so this is going to be sort of, it says a modernized but classic Sherlock Holmes story set at a boarding school. I love that idea. So we have that one. 189 has like this brownish title, Wendy Darling, which is going to be related to Peter Pan. There is a foreword, and then it actually has it written as like a script, which I really love. I recently picked up a book that I'm excited to read that is pretty much written like this, which you don't see very often with like just things that are not technically scripts for plays or TV. They don't usually use it as their literary device, but I'm very excited for that. And then we have one other story. Obviously the Wendy Darling story seems like it takes quite a long time because of how it's written. Lots of page space for that. And then we have In Fire Foretold, which is a green title. And this one seems like it is completely separate from anything. She talks about how this story is based on her love for portal fantasy. Oh, I'm reading this, and so she was talking about how it started as a novella, and I'm like, yes, obviously, these are novellas. She talks about how it's based on her love for portal fantasy, but as she was writing this, she realized there's more to be told here. So in that announcement that I told you, the foretold duology, I think, is this novella being expanded upon into a duology. Random House apparently has bought the rights for that, and they're going to do that. That is very, very exciting because that means, at least for us Kickstarter backers, we're getting like a first peek into the character Alex, A-L-I-X, which I think is intriguing, in that sort of story setting, whereas it seems like maybe everybody else is going to be able to see it as an actual duology. I'm actually very excited for that. So that's what we have here. We have 4 novellas called Careful of Books. I want to say, and let me just double check, I want to say when we were talking about like the different books that she wanted to do, Careful of Books were supposed to be like related to books in a way. I'm trying to see if there's anything specific here. On the actual Kickstarter campaign, it does say one must always be careful of books for novellas. This is 4 novella-length stories. At least one is set in the Shadowhunter world and continues the tale of a character who many have been curious about. I bet you can guess. I mean, we already talked about it. The other 3 will be a mix of new young adult stories all wrapped up in a matching hardcover limited Kickstarter edition, like everything else that we're doing. I was sure originally we had some information about like why it was called Careful of Books. I don't remember anymore. Obviously, it's been a while. But yes, 4 novellas. I'm very, very excited about the fact that we do have stuff in here that is not related to Shadowhunters, even though obviously I love Shadowhunters. I love the world of it. I love the characters that she has created, and that's obviously why I decided to help fund the Kickstarter and get these pretty, pretty books. But yes, I love the idea that we have more in here, and I absolutely love the idea that we have a novella in here that she has decided to expand, and it's now going to be a duology. I'm very curious to see what we get inside the novella because of that. So yes, that is what we have today. Like I said, this is a short video just to get us into it, and because I did want to make sure I was unboxing these on my channel and showing you guys everything for anybody that wanted to see what they missed with the Kickstarter. But again, like I said, the next one that we get hopefully will come in within the next few months or so, and then you guys will be able to get yourselves a copy of that one, probably with a different cover and stuff, I'm assuming, but like traditionally published later in the year. So you're not missing everything, which is great. Let me know if you guys ever do want me to like read this as like a vlog, spoilers or no spoilers, just because again, this is going to be something that is not necessarily widely available, but if you're ever curious about the stuff in it, like let me know. I would be willing to do that if lots of people want to see it. But yes, I'm very excited to put these on my shelves. I need to read them. I do, but I'm very excited to have it. So that is going to be it from me today. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So I will see you then. Bye.